to the 2019 Northwest Junior Hockey League Showcase Weekend. And this afternoon could make a case for being the showcase game of the Showcase Weekend. The first place Fort St. John Flyers taking on the second place Fairview Flyers, as we'll take a brief break for the singing of O Canada. As we said, the two of the top teams in the Northwest Junior Hockey League doing battle here on this opening game of the final day of Showcase Weekend. Fort St. John Flyers, or Huskies that is, come in here with a record of 9-3-2, 1 point up on the second place Fairview Flyers at 9-4-1. It'll be Tyler MacArthur getting the start in goal for the Huskies this afternoon, a 4-3 record with a 2.59 goals against average, a save percentage of .888 for the Fort St. John native. At the other end of the ice, Alex Sawchuk, who along with MacArthur played in Friday night's Northwest Junior Hockey League All-Star game for the North Division squad, or the North squad. Sawchuk, a 20-year-old out of Elmworth with a record of 4-3 on the year, 1 shutout, a goals against average of 3, and a save percentage of .921. It will be Nick Lowen along with Nemec and Bourgeois getting the start up front for the Huskies against the Flyers line of Dettinger, Cairns, and Blanchette. As we are underway with first period action, and puck played down the ice early, an icing call against Fort St. John. Defensively, it is Jared Lowen and Connor Kindred getting the start on the blue line for the Huskies, while Noah Ross is out there along with Marusiak, and we're going to get an early penalty here against the Fairview Flyers as Alex Sawchuk fires the puck up over the glass and out of play. So Fort St. John will go to the power play 21 seconds into the opening period. As it looks like it is going to be Eric Dettinger that will come over and serve the penalty. Again, Alex Sawchuk, delay of game at 21 seconds. And Fort St. John with an early power play opportunity. This is Jared Lowen, co-leader in the Northwest Junior Hockey League for scoring on the season so far with 20 points. He let that original shot go that was kicked aside by Sawchuk, and the rebound fired down the ice by Fort St. John. Kindred comes up left side from his own end. This is Connor Kindred, the center ice, gains the Flyers line. Down in the corner now, Nick Lowen, Gary Lowen, and Alex Nemo. The forward alignment for Fort St. John on this power play as Nemo tries to play that for Kindred along the right wing boards. Down in the corner is Kindred. Now Gary Lowen for Jared Lowen, trying to find Kindred at the side of the goal, couldn't get it to him. Back to Gary Lowen, right point. He'll snap that to the goal. Sawchuk gets a piece of it to knock it to the corner. Trying to clear that one out is Ross, and he will get it down the ice. Quickly turning back the other way, though, is last year's scoring leader in the Northwest Junior Hockey League, Gary Lowen. One of 4 Lowens on this team, 3 of which are related to each other. The exception being team captain, Jared Lowen. As the Huskies move this to center ice. That is Jared Lowen trying to play it in deep, knocked away by the Flyers. Back to his own line to play that one is Dick. Had 2 goals yesterday in the win as the puck will slide back towards MacArthur, who will freeze it for a faceoff. 22 seconds left in this power play for Fort St. John to kick off the contest. Faceoff inside their own end to the right of Tyler MacArthur. Tokar's in the faceoff there for Fairview. Couldn't win that one. Now the Flyers, one last rush maybe out of their end. Dick from center ice will knock that right to left in the Fort St. John territory, or into Fairview territory. Trying to clear that out is Joaquim. Gets another chance to try and clear it. Cannot do so. Kept in at the point. Both teams now back at full strength as Dettinger returns to the ice surface. Joaquim to the line. Going to be kept in by the Flyers. Now directed towards the goal. Save made. Sawchuk. Rebound for Dick. And a save also made by Sawchuk. Jared Lowen for Dick. Top of the right circle. Trying to go cross ice. Bouncing puck to Bourgeois. Couldn't get a stick on it. Now the Flyers look to move it out. They'll chip it to center ice before it's played right back in by Marzocco for the Fort St. John Huskies. Fairview coming out of their own end. At center. Nice move there by Dettinger. Had a goal last night for the Flyers in their 3-1 win over the County of Grand Prairie JDA Kings. Loses control behind the net. Picked up over there by Taggart. To the blue line, kept in. Long shot high over the goal by Hunter Harrison. Puck right wing corner in the Fort St. John end. Trying to work that in front was Cairns, couldn't do so for the Flyers. Now back to the blue line it comes. That is briefly kept in by Hamelin before the Huskies are able to send it out to center ice. Big hit behind as Cooper Wilms steps into one of the Fairview defenders. This is Hamelin. Gets the return feed from Harrison. Now Hunter Harrison from center. Dumps it left wing corner into Fort St. John territory. Back behind his own net to play that one for the Huskies was Taggart. Couldn't clear that puck out as he's out there now with Lowen on the back end. That's Jared Lowen, number 7. They still battle. Now puck comes to the right wing side. Jared Lowen unable to clear it out. Comes to Fox behind the Fort St. John net. Trying to move it in front. That one blocked in front of the goal. Wraparound attempt again there is knocked away by a Huskies defender. And now the Huskies will finally backhand that out to center ice as Bourgeois is able to clear the zone. Fired right back in by Fairview. MacArthur to Taggart in his own end. Up to center ice. Now here come the Huskies back the other way. Nick Lowen sends it out of the reach of Bourgeois into Fairview territory. Jared Lowen from the high slot. Shot off a stick over top of the net. After the puck right away, Nils Nemec. Interesting story about him. We'll tell you about in the next stoppage in play. Shot from the point is batted away from the goal after Sawchuk made the original save. Here's Nemec with it. Fires another shot on goal. Sawchuk the save and will hold on to faceoff. Nils Nemec, an exchange student from Germany, recently arriving in Fort St. John and playing his first game this afternoon as a member of the Fort St. John Huskies. Wearing sweater number 25. Faceoff will be to the left of Sawchuk inside the Fairview zone. Trying to dig that puck free is Gary Lowen. Third in the Northwest Junior Hockey League in scoring this year is Lowen. Chance in front, and the Huskies will get the first goal of the game. Logan Kimmy with a rebound opportunity after Gary Lowen did a lot of good work to dig the puck free. Took the original shot that went over the net. Puck is dug back out in front, and it's Kimmy, that will fire that in as he gets his first goal of the season at 5:18 of the first period to put Fort St. John up by a count of 1-0. Look for Gary Lowen to get one assist on that goal. We'll wait for the secondary helper as Fort St. John open the scoring up here in the first period at the 5:18 mark. Marusiak trying to play that around the far side. Flyers still able to keep that puck in. Now looking to move it out. This is Harrison. Sounds like Alex Nimmo got the other assist on that goal. As here come the Flyers back in, or the Huskies back in again. Kimmy with the long shot. Save made and held on to. And I will apologize in advance right now for all the times that I'll reference the Huskies as the Flyers this afternoon. So used to the Fort St. John Flyers of the North Peace Hockey League that I've already caught myself a couple times this afternoon referring to the Huskies as the Flyers, which is even more confusing considering they're playing the Fairview Flyers this afternoon. Fox in behind his own net for Fairview. Sends it far side, trying to clear that out. Marusiak. Now stolen back again by Fort St. John. Shot is blocked and fired back out to center where it's grabbed by Taggart. Played in deep by Dick into Fairview territory. Now the Flyers come out of their own end. Spencer Bjorklund knocks it into Fort St. John territory. Played right back out to center. Touched though by the Fairview Flyers, and that's going to be an offside call. As we played 6 minutes and 56 seconds of this opening period. 1-0. Fort St. John leading Fairview. Fairview yet to record a shot on goal as of yet on Fort St. John's starting goaltender, Tyler MacArthur. Fort St. John, meanwhile, has directed 5 shots so far in the direction of Alex Sawchuk. He'll play that around the boards. Trying to clear that out is Joaquim. Now fired right back in by Fort St. John. Right wing corner is Cooper Wilms. Had 3 goals in that convincing 9-2 win yesterday over Sexsmith, did Cooper Wilms. Joaquim back the other way for Fairview. Shot off a stick over the glass and out of play as we've played 7 minutes and 23 seconds of the first period. First of the year for Logan Kimmy at 5:18 from Gary Lowen. And Alex Nimmo has the Fort St. John Huskies up by a count of 1-0. Face-off won by Fairview, but clears the zone. Back out to center ice. Tokars trying to work that ahead for Remy Richard. Now in the neutral zone. Batted in by Nick Lowen. Played ahead. Richard will get it as far as the line before it's taken back by Kindred. Now loses control of that one. Here comes Fairview back the other way. Fort St. John, though, able to break that up. And here's Marzocco. Up ahead now for Nemec. He'll play that left wing corner to Nick Lowen. For Nemec. Now a chance for Bourgeois. Fired just wide. Comes to Kindred. Right point. Tries to go middle of the ice. Shot off a stick goes wide. Deschamps looking to clear that out for Fairview. Cannot do so. Now Fairview will grab it. And it's brought out to center ice and played in deep by Richard as the Fairview Flyers change on the fly. Kindred backhands that one to center. Knocked ahead by Kimmy. Played all the way back down into Fort St. John territory. And Ivan Jasmik is back to play it behind his own goal. Struggling a bit with the Fairview forecheck. Does get it to the line. Gary Lowen coming back the other way. Will send it right wing side to Kimmy. Huskies got to clear up on the offside. That gives Fairview a chance to move this one out of their own end. It's Harrison, back to Hamelin. Dettinger, make that Cairns, I should say, from center ice. Fires it into the Fort St. John bench and out of play. 9:06 gone in period number 1. Again, this is the opening game of the third and final day of the Showcase weekend. Coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon, the North Peace Navigators, who enter the day 1 point back of the Huskies for top spot, and in a tie with Fairview for second, they'll play the County of Grand Prairie JDA Kings at 4 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock tonight, it'll be the Dawson Creek Junior Canucks against the Sundown Oilfield Services Sexsmith Vipers. Stolen again here by the Huskies. Here's Gary Lowen with a chance. Save made by Sawchuk. Rebound is batted wide by Nimmo as the puck was sitting there in the high slot area in the Fairview zone. Kindred from the point. Make that Taggart playing that in deep. Puck now bounces back out to center. Jasbik sends it ahead. Here come the Huskies again looking for more. Gary Lowen out front for Kimmy. He made the move on Sawchuk, but lost control of the puck in the final second. Kimmy now to Jared and Lowen. Wrist shot fired wide. Keeping that in at the right point is Taggart. Battles with Fox now right at the line. Gary Lowen comes in to grab the loose puck for Jared and Lowen. Long shot. Glove save made by Sawchuk, who will hold on for a faceoff. 9:49 remaining in the first period. It has been all Fort St. John so far. Only a 1-0 lead on the scoreboard, thanks in large part to the play of Alex Sawchuk in the Fairview goal. But the Huskies heavily controlling the play here so far through the first 10 minutes of this opening period. Bjorklund will move that up on the right wing side. Here come the Flyers out of their own end. Tokars will play that one right on top of MacArthur, and there is the first shot of the goal on the afternoon for the Fairview Flyers. As MacArthur will hold on to it for a face-off. Again, Tyler MacArthur coming in this afternoon with one of the top goals against averages in the Northwest Junior Hockey League so far this season at 2.59. You look at the opposite end of the spectrum, though. Alex Sawchuk, the Flyers goaltender, has one of the best save percentages in the league this year at .921. Here's Marzocco getting around the D. Couldn't get a shot on goal as Brady Marzocco, just his 4th game of the season so far for the Huskies, but has 7 points in his first 3 games. He'll chip that one deep into Fairview territory. Back to play it first is Ross. Backhands it behind the goal. Near side. Plays that for Cairns as the Flyers now try to move out to center ice. Played ahead there briefly by Wagner. Taken back now by the Huskies in their own end. That pass misses Wilms. Goes down inside Fairview territory. Icing waved off though. Ross plays that back deep in his own end. Marusiak up to center. Trying to work that ahead still is Marusiak. Stuffed at the blue line. Briefly kept in at the line by Laurondell. Although the Huskies now move it back up to center. Here's Laurondell once again for Fairview. Taken off the puck by Wilms. Played ahead by Fairview. Back inside of Fort St. John territory. Kindred. Ahead over the line. Long shot fired wide by Jared Lowen. Now Fairview again. Back out to center ice. That is Blanchette. Playing it deep into Huskies territory. Kindred behind his own goal. Battling back there against a Fort St. John forward. Or against a Fairview forward, I should say. Cairns tried to find Dettinger in front. That's blocked. Long pass just out of the reach of Bourgeois down the ice. Is going to be an icing call against the Fort St. John Huskies as we get down to 7:40 remaining in the first period. 1-0 lead for the Fort St. John Huskies over the Fairview Flyers. Face-off will be to the left of MacArthur in the Fort St. John end. Trying to play that in front was Blanchette as he was looking for Cairns. Huskies to the line. That one kept in. Long shot from Deschamps goes wide. Now out to center. Played by the Huskies Florian down into Fairview territory. This is Joaquim out to center. Trying to play that for Blanchette. Now moved ahead off Dettinger. Jasbeck over there to play it. Turns it over. Fairview looking to move it out in front. Cannot do so. Comes to the near boards. Fox for Dettinger. Back to the point. Deschamps. Shot is blocked out in front by the Huskies' Jasbeck. Another chance. Side of the goal this time is fired wide. Comes back out to center and all the way back in the Fairview territory with it is Hunter Harrison. The Valley View product will send that ahead off of Hebert. Also from Valley View into Fort St. John territory. Fox, left wing corner, trying to dig that puck free. Penalty call coming up here on the play. It will be a hooking call at 13:35. And it looks like it is going to be Fort St. John's Aiden Taggart that'll get that penalty. So first power play of the afternoon for the Fairview Flyers as they look to try and get back to square footing. Puck kept in by Hamelin at the point. Now for Joaquim, shot blocked in front. Puck still loose out in front. Fox takes a high stick down low. Now has the puck, left wing corner does Cale Fox, who had one goal last night. He'll play it to Hebert behind the net. Pinching in from the blue line down low is Harrison, trying to find the loose puck. Back at the point. This is Joaquim. Sends it cross ice for Tokars. Bailey Tokars from the top of the left circle. Long shot deflects and goes wide. Hebert over on the right wing side. Plays it down into the corner for Schlachter. Trying to work it back in front. Zachary Schlachter. Behind the net, Hebert. Fox also back there for the Flyers. To the point, Harrison trying to go midpoint. Now chance, Tokars. Shot is stopped in front by MacArthur. Unable to convert on the rebound was Hebert. Back to Harrison again. Fires that to the goal, it's blocked. Hebert will let that one go, and that one grazes the outside of the goalpost. Harrison again, mid-blue line now. Trying to play that for Tokars, broken up. And the Huskies will get that puck, and make that Burgess able to knock it down the ice. 20 seconds left to go in the power play for Fairview. They trail 1-0 with less than 5 minutes to go in the first period. Kindred deep in his own end, trying to rim it around the boards. Does manage to move it up ice. Here comes Bourgeois back shorthanded. Joel Bourgeois trying to work. Great individual effort, and he hits the goalpost at the other end. Falling to his knees, Joel Bourgeois gets the shot off and rings the outside of the post. That close to giving the Huskies a 2-0 lead. Bjorklund will fire that in deep for Fairview. Now another stretch pass. Here come the Huskies back 2-on-1. It is Kimmy looking in front. They score! Gary Lowen at the side of the net deflects that one in, and it's 2-0 for Fort St. John. Pure goal scorer goal there by Gary Lowen. Went to the right spot of the ice and waited for Logan Kimmy to get him the puck. Fourth of the year for Lowen, his 20th point. So now he pulls into a tie with Robert LeMay and teammate Jared and Lowen for the scoring lead in the Northwest Junior Hockey League with 20 points among each of those three players. And Fort St. John now with a 2-0 lead on the Fairview Flyers. 15:57, the time of that goal. Be very surprised if that's not changed at some point before the afternoon is out. They've given Nimmo and Dick the assists on that one. No mention of an assist at all for Logan Kimmy, although it was Kimmy who made the pass to Lowen for him to score the goal. Puck deep inside of Fort St. John territory. Trying to dig that out is Blanchette for the Flyers, I should say. To the blue line, kept in. Deschamps, shot block, gets another one in, and MacArthur this time forced to make the save. Puck behind the net. Trying to work that in front is Cairns. Couldn't do so. Picked off, and the Huskies will flip this one to center ice. Deschamps playing that right back into the skates of Gary Lowen. Now Kimmy in the neutral zone. Waits for his mates to get onside. Skates back in. Logan Kimmy playing it deep. Flyers pick that off and will send it back inside of Fort St. John territory, where it's taken by Oscar Burgess. One of two players on the Fort St. John roster not to hail originally from BC. Burgess from Whitehorse, Yukon. The other one is backup goaltender Jacob Romanowski, who's from Calgary. Played in deep by the Flyers. The rest of that Fort St. John lineup made up entirely of boys out of British Columbia, 13 of which are from the Fort St. John area. Cale Fox back at his own end. Sends it rink wide. Harrison plays it as far as the blue line. Now brought in by the Fairview Flyers. Taken away, though, by Jared and Lowen. Sends it over on the left side. Flyers again, or Huskies again, wheeling out to center. This is Winkle. Tied up along the boards. Following up on the play, Marzocco will get it back to Kindred at the right point. Tied up in the corner. Puck is played back to the point now. Marzocco looking rink wide. Tried to find Jared Lowen pinching in from the point. Dick back to Marzocco. Looking in front for Kindred. Taken away from him. And the Flyers will move this back to center with 1:20 left to go in the first. Kindred will pin his man Tokars along the boards. Back inside of Fairview territory with that one is Hamelin. Now the Flyers out to center. Puck knocked in by Tokars. 1 minute to go here in the first period. 2-0. Fort St. John leading. Shots 11-1 in favor of the Flyers, or the Huskies, I should say, so far in this opening period. Wagner trying to move that out for Fairview. Will send it up ahead. That's Girard to center. Kindred back inside his own end. Leaves that for Taggart. Aiden Taggart to center. Played right back the other way by Ross for the Flyers. Again, Fort St. John settles it behind their own net. Taggart will play that right wing side, looking for Wilms. Back again behind the goal. Jared and Lowen to center ice. Knocked out, fired right back in by the Flyers. MacArthur out of the goal to try and clear that out of harm's way. Dettinger knocks it down to the blue line. Ross will play it up along the boards as period number 1 will come to an end here at Crosslink County Sportsplex. A period dominated by the Fort St. John Huskies as they outshoot the Fairview Flyers 11-1 in that first period and get goals from Logan Kimmy and Gary Lowen to take a 2-0 lead over the Fairview Flyers after 20 minutes of play here at the 2019 Northwest Junior Hockey League Showcase. Back again in Claremont at the Crosslink County Sportsplex. Opening game of day 3, the final day of the Northwest Junior Hockey League Showcase event. It is the Fort St. John Huskies with a 2-0 lead on the Fairview Flyers as we get set for second period action. Huskies getting goals in that opening period from Logan Kimmy at the 5:18 mark and Gary Lowen at 15:57 as they wound up out shooting the Fairview Flyers 11-1 in that opening period. Face-off is dropped. Lowen and Hebert were the center icemen as the puck flips up over the glass and out of play. Face-off will come back towards the Flyers blue line. Again, just 6 seconds into this second period. Now here come the Huskies bringing the puck in. That is Nick Lowen. Taking off the puck. Flyers back out now to center ice. Down the left side is Hebert. Has Schlachter with him. Rubbed out into the corner, though, by the Fort St. John defenseman. That looks like it's Oscar Burgess, number 12. Make that Kindred, actually. He's taking off the puck. Fox trying to work it back to the net. Broken up, and now here come the Flyers out to, or the Huskies out to center ice. This is Nemec along the right wing boards. One-timer for Bourgeois and a save made by Sawchuk. Fox looking to move this out now for Fairview. Plays it back behind his own goal. Marusiak will just send it out to center. Kindred back on his side of center for Jared Lowen. Back now to Kindred. Flyers changing, or the Huskies that is, changing up their forward alignment. Pass up ahead, looking for Bourgeois. Has it along the left wing boards. Pass out in front, misses. Gary Lowen now looking to keep that one in. Flyers, though, are the ones that come up with it. Right along the left wing boards. Kimmy keeps that in. Looking cross ice to the blue line. Kindred towards the net. Knocked down by Nimmo. Now here comes Jared and Lowen. Shot from the point. Save made by Sawchuk. Trying to clear that out. Marusiak couldn't do so. Puck loose at the side of the goal and finally covered up and held on to by Alex Sawchuk. Minute 45 gone in the second period. And the Huskies picking right up where they left off in the opening period. Very aggressive forecheck here on the Flyers, giving them no chance to get anything really started out of their own end. Shots in that first were 11-1 in favor of Fort St. John. Chance in front again for Lowen. Couple whacks and a huge stop that time by Alex Sawchuk to keep it a 2-0 hockey game as Lowen thought he had the goaltender down and out for what would have been his second goal of the afternoon. Played back the other way now by Fairview into Fort St. John territory. Burgess trying to move that one out. Kept in. Long shot there by the Flyers. Joaquim is knocked away by MacArthur. Now played back to the corner once again. Here is Bjorklund. Shot blocked. Flyers work their way back as here comes Fort St. John. Jared and Lowen. Rink wide and a pass back the other way by Alex Nemo. Just missing his line mate Logan Kimmy for what would have been his second goal of the afternoon. Taggart gets it up to Dick on the left wing side. Kept in by Gary Lowen. Fires it down into the corner. Trying to work that one out in front was Marzocco. Kimmy for Dick. Now back to the blue line. Taggart looked over there for Jasbeck on the play. Couldn't get it to him, and the Flyers knock it down in the Fort St. John territory. Back the other way, though, for the Flyers, or for the Huskies, I should say, was Winkle. Now stolen by Marzocco at the blue line. Brady Marzocco for Dick. Trying to look back for Taggart, couldn't get it to him. Kept in and fired back in deep by Jeff Dick. Had 2 goals yesterday in the 9-2 win over the Sexsmith Vipers, did Jeff Dick. Now broken up and played all the way back inside of Fort St. John territory. Kindred, right side pass for Dick over the blue line. Toe drag, looking in front, deflected wide off the stick of Winkle. Fairview gets it back in again to Fort St. John territory. Jared Lowen quickly up on that right side. Kindred now from the blue line walking in, shot fired wide by Winkle. In behind the goal, Fort St. John walks off the corner with it all the way back to the blue line. Kindred for Jared Lowen. Towards the side of the net, they score! Jared Lowen threads the needle through the D, and back door for the Fort St. John Flyers was Jared Winkle as he deflects that one in to make it 3-0 for the Huskies. 4:27 will be the time of that goal for Fort St. John. As Jared Lowen will retake the scoring lead in the Alberta or the Northwest Junior League. Kindred will get the other assist on Winkle's 7th goal. Make that his 10th goal of the season. As he just pulls himself a couple points shy now of the scoring lead in the Northwest Junior Hockey League. So again, 10th of the year for Winkle from Jared Lowen and Connor Kindred. And it's 3-0 for Fort St. John here over the Fairview Flyers. First place battle here in the Northwest Junior Hockey League. The Huskies enter the day a 1 point up on both the Flyers and the North Peace Navigators for top spot. Now here come the Flyers back the other way. Chance, big stop by MacArthur as he goes post to rob Eric Dentinger after a turnover by the Huskies in their own end. Cairns trying to set up Dentinger for the one-timer, but MacArthur goes post to make the save and frees it for a face-off. Face-off will be to his right inside the Fort St. John zone. Fox trying to play back to the blue line, can't do so. Bjorklund now behind the goal for Fairview. Also in there trying to dig it out is Richard. Bjorklund puts that one right through the crease. Taggart trying to move that out. Stopped at the blue line by Marusiak. Now the Flyers again trying to keep that in, but Nick Lowen will chop that down the ice. Icing called against Fort St. John. And again, a face-off deep inside the Husky zone. 5:39 gone in the second period. 3-0. The Fort St. John Huskies lead the Fairview Flyers. Again, the Flyers played in the late game last night, and you wonder if fatigue is at all a factor for them here this afternoon as a shot from the blue line from Deschamps is gloved and held on to by Tyler MacArthur. Didn't get a chance to go over the scratches in the first period. Scratches for Fort St. John this afternoon. Cale Goulet, Dean Whitcomb, Dawson Phillips, along with Tegan McMullen and Robbie Davis. Fairview scratches this afternoon, Tyler Worth and Logan Mazarol. Now here come the Huskies out of their end. Jared Lowen down the right wing. Plays that deep into Flyers territory. Spinning off the corner, firing the shot there, Gary Lowen. And eventually touched here by the Flyers, and now penalty call coming up to Fairview. So second power play of the afternoon for the Huskies coming up here as it will be, I believe, a holding call. And looks like Thomas Deschamps will get that penalty. 6:17 time of the call, and Fairview shorthanded now, trying to avoid the Huskies going up by 4. Backdoor play, another chance. That one fired wide off the stick of Alex Nemo. Jared Lowen for Gary Lowen in front, and that shot is stopped by Sawchuk. Gary Lowen once again looking back. Here's Kindred trying to walk in. Backhand shot as he's knocked down, is stopped by Sawchuk. Gary Lowen, right wing corner, out front, they score! And this time it is Alex Nemo on the back door that deflects it home. A power play goal for the Huskies. And just like that, it's 4-0 for Fort St. John. Nemo will pick up his 4th goal of the season. And again, the Huskies able to extend their lead here in the second period. Now up 4-0 as Dick brings it in over the line. Winkle getting the lone assist on that goal from Nemo. Pass back to the blue line, misses, and backtracking into his own end to grab that puck is Jared and Lowen. Again, the only one of the 4 Lowen players on this Fort St. John roster that is not related to the others. He has the puck now in the neutral zone, has to wait for his mates to get onside, then backhands it deep in the Fairview territory. Joaquim will send that ahead. Here's Dentinger. Has Blanchette towards the front of the net. Now Blanchette comes in to help. Throws it in front, broken up. And Fort St. John quickly wheeling back the other way. Fournette, right wing pass. Long shot. Sawchuk gets the blocker on that one and knocks it out of harm's way. Big hit there as Ross stepped into one of the Fort St. John players. We're going to have a penalty call coming up here on the play. It's a slash at the 8:05 mark. And it is going to be Caden Fournette of the Huskies that'll get that penalty. So chance for Fairview to try and get on the board here in the second period. 8:05 as mentioned, time of that penalty. Second power play of the afternoon coming up here for the Flyers. Off the draw comes the Fox, and his shot off the stick of the goaltender Tyler MacArthur and out of play. Slashing to Fournette. As mentioned at 8:05. Fairview on the power play, trying to dig that out in the corner is Tokars. Gets it for Schlachter. Back to Tokars, left wing corner. Blue line, that is Harrison. Long shot fired wide. Puck loose at the side of the goal. Trying to dig that free was Fox. Here's Tokars, top of the circle. Shot there from Schlachter is blocked, and the rebound is backhanded down the ice by the Huskies. Deschamps back behind his own goal. Out there on the power play, along with Hunter Harrison. Keeping that in just inside the line is Hebert. Now back to Harrison. Shot knocked down by MacArthur. Schlachter looking there for Tokars. Comes to Hebert. Now Harrison to Deschamps. Wrist shot, MacArthur the save. He'll hold on for the faceoff, and first sustained bit of pressure for the Fairview Flyers in a little bit here. Game that has been dominated so far by the Huskies. They lead 4-0. 51 seconds left in the Fairview power play. 10:46 remaining in the second period. Off the draw, controlled by the Flyers. This is Bjorklund. Along the left wall. Down behind the goal. Trying to go back in front. There's Bjorklund with a chance. That's fired wide. Kept in by Harrison, right point. Wrist shot on. Save made by MacArthur. Tokar's behind the net. We'll play this one now for Joachim. Looking out in front for Bjorklund. Couldn't get a shot away. Joachim looking rink wide. Trying to find Tokar's out front. Backhand shot for Bjorklund and the save made by MacArthur. Loose puck grabbed by the Huskies and backhanded all the way down the ice by Cooper Wilms. 10 seconds left now in the power play. Tokar's fanned on that pass. Here come the Huskies back the other way. Jared and Lowen will get it in deep. Joachim behind the net turns that over. Wraparound attempt. Save made by Sawchuk as Gary Lowen was looking for his second goal of the afternoon. Out to center ice. Grabbed now by Jasmik. To Lowen at center. Down the right side into Flyers territory, but Fort St. John will be called on the offside. With 9:34 remaining in the second period. Four nothing the lead. Fort St. John over Fairview. Gary Lowen. Turnover chance and a shot. Puck in the crease area and ends up bouncing off the skate of Kimmy in the crease. Now played back out to center. Tegart. Jasmik out to center ice. Kimmy trying to knock that one ahead. Broken up. Cairns will backhand that one deep into Fort St. John territory. Jasmik, right wing side, looking there for Logan Kimmy. Comes back out to center. Played ahead. Now the Flyers try to bring it in. Tegart knocks his man down to the ice. That was Blanchette. And the shot eventually into MacArthur, who holds on for the faceoff with 8:53 left to go in the second period. 4-0 lead for the Fort St. John Huskies over the Fairview Flyers. 2 goals in each the first and second period for the Huskies in this contest. Off the faceoff. Controlled by the Flyers. Trying to work that in front was Wagner, couldn't do so. Now the Huskies deep in their own end. Jared Lowen up to center ice. Marzocco trying to work that to the goal. Following up, here is Lowen. A shot. Sawchuk the save. Wraparound opportunity for Jared Lowen. Doesn't go in at the blue line. Kindred will wrist shot that one wide of the goal. Puck still down low inside the Flyers' end, and they'll now eventually knock it up over the boards and out of play. 8:18, make that 8:19 remaining in the second. Shot 7-6 in favor of Fort St. John here in the second period. 18-7 for the hockey game in favor of the Huskies. Dick into the face-off circle, wins it back to the point. Jared and Lowen shot, blocker save made by Sawchuk. Dick trying to dig it out. Massive hit down there in the corner as Dick is flattened down to the ice by Kyle Cairns. Flyers got to clear up on the offside. Played ahead. That's broken up. Now knocked right back in by Fairview as Riley Hebert gets it back in deep. Jared and Lowen sidesteps 1-4 checker. Now lifts it up to center. Trying to hit Marzocco back in behind the defense. Brady Marzocco still with the puck. Now plays it free for Nick Lowen behind the goal. Tegart in there to help out. Marzocco also over there. As is Winkle. Trying to play back in front, couldn't do so, and now Fairview moves it back to center. Spencer Bjorklund. Here's a chance for Bjorklund. Couple saves made by MacArthur as Tokars found Bjorklund all alone at the right side of the net. Tokars over the blue line, slap shot over top of the net. Kept in by Marusiak at the point. And a penalty call coming up. As Tokars is going to go to the box here for roughing. So 13:07, the time of that penalty. Fairview going back shorthanded again. Fort St. John 1 for 2 on the afternoon with the power play, as they have a 4-0 lead right now on Fairview here in the second period, although the Flyers do manage to knock that puck down the ice. Now played over the line, offside against the Flyers. 6:34 remaining in the second. Off the face-off, just outside the blue line, corralled by the Huskies. Jared Lowen for Kindred over on the right side. Connor Kindred back to Jared Lowen. Make that Nimmo back to Jared Lowen. Shot blocked in front. Here's Kimmy, left wing corner, top of the circle. Nimmo, shot, save made. Sawchuk. Rebound, knocked down out of midair by Kindred. Connor Kindred down low for Kimmy. Gary Lowen, top of the right circle, shot blocked. Kindred with a chance, fired wide. Jared Lowen towards the net. Shot is blocked, and puck will come back out the center, where it's corralled by Gary Lowen. Now cross ice for Jared Lowen. Plays out to the point. Winkle shot goes over top of the net. Now back to the blue line, Gary Lowen. And now we've got pushing and shoving out front. We might have a scrap here. Hamilton trying to get after one of the Fairview or the Fort St. John players. And let's see, it is Nimmo and Harrison coming to the box at 14:27. More than likely, just coincidental minors to the two of them. Officials over there figuring this one out. We may end up actually with an extra penalty against Fort St. John on this play. As they're, sure enough, 2 minutes going up on the Fort St. John side. Let's wait for the announcements on the penalties to tell you who got what here. We do know Nimmo and Harrison are in the box. Two sets of penalties up on the Fort St. John side. Nimmo and Jared Winkle both getting penalties. So this is going to turn into a 4-on-3 power play here for the Fairview Flyers. As Nemec will come over and serve the extra minor for Nimmo. So as mentioned, a 4-on-3 power play here for Fairview, which in now 35 seconds will turn into a 5-on-3 power play for over a minute. Puck played back the other way, though, by the Huskies, as Burgess sent that in deep. Now here come the Flyers out of their own end. Marusiak could not find Hebert in front of the goal. Bourgeois trying to clear that out, kept in by Marusiak at the point. Shot, they score! Believe that was deflected in front by Eric Dentinger. It will be a power play goal for the Fairview Flyers, who are now on the board. 15:02, the time of that marker. As Dentinger will pick up his 11th goal of the season. Deflecting home the point shot from Morgan Marusiak. And Fairview ties the game up, or gets on the board, making it 4-1. And in 5 seconds are still going to go to the power play for another minute and 20. Controlled back in his own end by Taggart. He'll circle back behind the net. Tokar's out of the box. Fairview now in a 5-on-4 power play for a minute and 20 seconds. Fourth chance here on the afternoon. They're 1 for 3 with the power play so far, having just scored on the 4-on-3 advantage. Played deep into Fairview territory, or make that Fort St. John territory. Fairview comes up with it. Joaquin, rink wide, long shot. Let's get the penalty announcements here. So those penalties of 14:27. Harrison from the Flyers got cross-checking. Nimmo from the Huskies got cross-checking and roughing, and Winkle got roughing. That's how we ended up with the 4-on-3 in which Fairview scored on. Now down to a 5-on-4. Marusiak gets the lone assist on Dentinger's goal at 15:02, a power play marker to make it a 4-1 game. Bourgeois back in his own end, turns and fires it down the ice. 10 seconds left to go in the power play for Fairview. Now the Flyers trying to move it out of their own end. Both teams officially back at full strength with under 3.5 minutes to go in the second. Joaquin knocked off the puck by Wilms. Now backhanded out to center ice. That's broken up. Huskies back into their own end. Jared and Lowen turned over. Now gets the puck right back, though, as it's put right onto his stick by Flyers forward. But back the other way come Fairview. Here's Wilms with a chance. He scores! Cooper Wilms, his 4th goal in 2 games. And the the Huskies, that is, retake their 4-goal advantage. It's 5-1. So Cooper Wilms with his 5th goal of the season, and as mentioned, 4th goal here at the Showcase Tournament weekend after the hat trick yesterday against Sexsmith, and it's now 5-1 for Fort St. John, who've scored 14 goals in just under 5 periods of hockey here in Claremont. Penalty call coming up against Fort St. John. Here's Cale Fox in front, MacArthur the save, and the Huskies touch the puck. And looks like Florient maybe is going to come to the penalty box here. Actually, I stand corrected. It will be Wilms, the goal scorer, making his way in. Tripping is the call at 17:23. So once again, right back to the power play for Fort St. John, or for Fairview, I should say. One for four in the afternoon are the Flyers. Harrison turns that over, shorthanded breakaway chance for Kimmy. Logan Kimmy scores! Outweighted Sawchuk and puts it in. Second of the afternoon for Logan Kimmy, and it's now a 6-1 hockey game. Nine seconds into the penalty. In actually what's a 4-minute power play, so an extra minor penalty called there against Cooper Wilms. But 17:32, Logan Kimmy sent in all alone by himself, and Potts, the shorthanded marker for the Fort St. John Huskies, to make it a 6-1 game, as he'll now dump that one all the way down the ice. Kimmy with his second of the afternoon and second of the season. And the Huskies bench hollering for a penalty there, saying that hit on Kimmy was at least a good couple strides after he had dumped the puck down. 6-1 lead here for Fort St. John. Fairview on the power play for the rest of this period. 3:15 left in the double minor against Cooper Wilms. Shorthanded marker, though, just a few seconds ago by Logan Kimmy to make it a 5-goal lead. Chance in front for Tokars is kicked aside by MacArthur. Tokars again with another chance, fires that one wide. Now Jared Lowen will lift that high over top of everyone all the way down the ice. 1:20 left to go in the second period. Huskies have outscored the Flyers 4-1 here in this second period. Here's Dentinger. Left wing side. Gains the line, rubbed out behind the net by Parzocco. Flyers still have control of it. Blanchette trying to play that for Cairns. Taken back now by the Huskies. This is Jared and Lowen. To center, 45 seconds left, second period. Jared and Lowen still with the puck. Turns that over. And now Ross with it. Sends it rink wide. Dentinger. Ahead to Blanchette inside of Fort St. John territory. Now chance again, side of the goal. They look back there for Blanchette. Maybe a case of one pass too many for the Flyers on that play, as they don't even get a shot on goal. Marzocco at the neutral zone. Fox will steal that one. 10 seconds to go in the period. Played in deep. Jasbeck sends that one all the way down the ice, as the buzzer will go to end the second period. Huskies outscore the Flyers 4-1 in the second period and break this game open. Now a 6-1 lead for the Fort St. John Huskies over the Fairview Flyers after 2 periods of play. Goals in that second period for Fort St. John from Jared Winkle. Also Alex Nemo, Cooper Wilms, and second of the afternoon for Logan Kimmy, a shorthanded marker. Lone goal for Fairview scored by Eric Dentinger. And through 40 minutes, it is Fort St. John 6 and Fairview 1. And back here at Crosslink County Sportsplex is Jeff Henson as we wait for the third period of the opening game of the third and final day of the 2019 Northwest Junior Hockey League Showcase event. A 6-1 lead so far for the Fort St. John Huskies over the Fairview Flyers. Fairview will carry the power play for the first minute and 22 seconds of this third period. Deschamps back in his own end for Joaquin as he'll hit center. Play that right wing side into Fort St. John territory. MacArthur out of the goal to play that one. Sent back to center ice. Deschamps to Joaquin. Now looking cross ice. He'll play that ahead for Dentinger. Flyers, though, cough it up, and Fort St. John able to send it down the ice. Sawchuk leaves that back behind the net for Joaquin. Now on the right wing side. That pass broken up. Joaquin has to go back into his own end to play this one. Now Sage Joaquin will send this for Thomas Deschamps down the left wing into Fort St. John territory briefly, but picked off there by Kindred and fired down the ice. 25 seconds left in the power play for for Fairview. Frenette trying to look rink wide for Nimmo out of his reach. Taggart works out from behind the net. A backhand shot. Sawchuk to save. And he'll freeze it for a face-off with a minute 15 gone in the third period and just 8 seconds left in the double minor to Cooper Wilms. Again, coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon right here, it's going to be the County JDA Kings taking on the North Peace Navigators. Off the face-off, Ross collects it behind his own net. Now the Flyers able to knock the puck down to the Fort St. John territory. Yazbek back there to play it as both teams are now back at even strength. Here comes Fort St. John out of their own end. Gary Lowen. Pass out of the reach of Nimmo down the ice. That's an icing call against the Huskies. And a face-off back in the Fort St. John territory with a minute 35 gone in the third period. The nightcap and final game here at the Showcase event coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. The Sundown Oilfield Services Sexsmith Vipers will be taking on the Dawson Creek Junior Canucks. Ross able to knock Nimmo off the puck and dump him down to the ice as Sawchuk covers up the loose puck and holds on for a face-off. Face-off will be to the right of Fairview goaltender Alex Sawchuk. Flyers have it behind their own goal. Cale Fox over on the near side for Marusiak. Stolen by Fort St. John all the way back to the blue line. Long shot there off the stick of Burgess. Goes up over the glass and out of play. Rather slower start to the third period. Just 2:09 gone in the final frame so far. Face off to the left of Sawchuk. Dick into the circle against Richard. Controlled by the Flyers. They'll chip that to center ice. Off the meshing over top of the glass and out of play. Dick wins the face-off back this time. Jared and Lowen able to keep that in. Marzocco will get that for Burgess. Delay penalty call coming up here against the Fairview Flyers as it's touched by Bjorklund. Holding will be the call against Fairview. And looking to see who's coming over to get the penalty. Looks like it is going to be Harrison that gets that call. 2:33, time of the penalty. Holding as the puck comes to the net. We have another goal for the Fort St. John Flyers, or Fort St. John Huskies, I should say, as they click on the power play for the second time this afternoon. And it's now 7-1. 2:44 time of that goal for Fort St. John. Played ahead by Bourgeois. (7-1) the score. Shot there right into Sawchuk, who makes the save as I believe that was Nemec, number 25, that got that shot away. Nils Nemec, as mentioned, first game here this afternoon as a member of the Fort St. John Huskies, an exchange student from Germany. Now the Huskies with it again off the draw. Bourgeois. Backhand shot, blockered away as Nemec let that shot go from the slot area. Now plays it back to the point. Misses his man Jasvik with that pass. Puck down in Fort St. John territory. Up to center. Bourgeois gains the Fairview line. Knocked away from him. Flip back to center. And Blanchette will try to play that ahead and does get it all the way down in the Fort St. John territory. Huskies look to clear that one out. Right wing side moving to center. Jared Lowen plays that over to Florient. Right wing corner trying to dig that puck free. Taken back by Ross. This is Noah Ross looking to clear it out. Instead, puck goes back behind the goal for Harrison. Flip tie off the glass. Flyers able to knock it out to center ice, where it's taken back by Jared Lowen. Crosses over the blue line into Fairview territory. Shot fired wide. Kept in at the right point by Kindred. Now the puck will squeeze back out to center. Kindred with it again. Does manage to move that ahead for Florient. Owen Florient behind the net. Moved it out in front. Broke it up, and Fairview pokes it back to center. Here's Ramsey. Checked off the puck by Jared and Lowen. For Jared Lowen over on the far side. Now lead pass kicked up ahead by Nick Lowen down the ice. Make that Wilms. And it's icing called against Fort St. John with 5:14 gone in the third period. 7-1, Fort St. John leading Fairview. It was 2-0 Fort St. John after the first. They outscore the Flyers 4-1 in the second and have added another one on the power play here so far in the third period. Cale Fox with it. Sends it down to the corner. Hebert rubbed out back there by Jared Lowen. Still a puck battle back and behind the net. Finally picked off. Blue line shot and the save made by MacArthur. Now here comes Fort St. John back to center. Gary Lowen has a goal this afternoon, knocked down on the play by Fox as it's played back in behind the Fairview goal. Joaquim for Fox. Lowen goes right back after him. They continue the battle. Now a steal. Chance in front, shot fired wide by Nemec. He'll look back towards the blue line. That is missing his teammate and all the way back into Fort St. John territory. Moved up by Jasbeck. Now has it again behind his own goal. Looking there for Lowen. Broken up. Joaquim with a long shot wide of the net. Behind the goal, the Flyers with control. Bjorklund. Far side, a shot there from Hamilton. Gloved and held on to by Tyler MacArthur. 13:24 remaining in the third period. Puck played back in behind the Fort St. John net. 7-1 lead for the Huskies on the Flyers, nearing the 7-minute mark of the third period. Connor Kindred turns that puck over. Here come the Flyers back the other way. Remy Richard to the blue line. That shot from Harrison blocked it away, and out comes Fort St. John to center. Marzocco gets it deep into Fairview territory. Briefly kept in at the point. Jared and Lowen with a long shot wide. Marzocco with another shot. Now back to Dick out in front. They score. As Jared Winkle alone in front of the net to knock that one in, and it's 8-1 for Fort St. John. So second of the afternoon for Jared Winkle at 7:21. Oh, let's hold on here. Yeah, and it's going to be a power play coming up here as well for Fort St. John. Ross is in the box, likely cross-checking the penalty on that one as he took a whack at Winkle as he scored. Marzocco getting the lone assist on that goal at 7:21 as Winkle has his second of the afternoon and 11th of the season. Now here come the Flyers back the other way, shorthanded, shot MacArthur the save, and Fort St. John content to play it back into Fairview territory. Now the Flyers can't clear it out as Fort St. John will control it on the power play. Marzocco to Jared and Lowen. Right side to Dick, back midpoint for Lowen. Fires that to the goal, Sawchuk the save, and he'll freeze it for a face-off with 11:48 remaining in the third period. Well, maybe it's not a 2-minute minor. Perhaps Ross got a 10-minute misconduct on that play as no time is up on the penalty clock right now. Haven't heard of the announcement yet, so I don't know if it was a 2-minute minor or a 10-minute misconduct given to Noah Ross. Chance out in front of the net. It's got to be a 2-minute minor. Only 4 players out on the ice right now for Fairview. Here's Kindred. From the point to Gary Lowen. Out in front, a shot fired wide. Now Nick Lowen back behind the net, trying to get it for Nimmo. Taken back, Gary Lowen for Nimmo behind the net. Broken up, a shot from Gary Lowen ends up going over the goal. Roughly about 21 seconds left to go in the power play now for Fort St. John. Brought in over the line. This is Jasbeck. We're all the way back behind the goal. He'll circle the wagons. Back up to the point. Taggart looking rink wide. That shot from Frenette for the Huskies goes wide. It comes all the way back, and both teams are now back at full strength. So it was just a minor penalty. And as mentioned, both teams are back at full strength with 10:20 now left to go in the third. 8-1 Fort St. John leading the Fairview Flyers. Puck played deep into Huskies territory. Now Fort St. John, Cooper Wilms to center ice. Lost control of that one, played back the other way by Harrison into the Huskies end. Now hit back behind the net. Jasbeck rubbed out back there by Cairns. Wilms to center. Unable to control that pass was Florient, as the Huskies will knock it back down into Fort St. John territory. Taggart clears that down into Fairview territory. Ross's clearing attempt is stolen. Bourgeois coming back in. Another chance, and save made by Sawchuk. Getting the toe on that chance from Nils Nemec. Now Fort St. John retreating into their own end as Hebert knocks it in deep for Fairview with 9:10 to go in the third. Big hit back behind the play there. Hebert taking out his man. Believe that was Burgess back behind the goal. Huskies the center. Bourgeois sidesteps one check. Knocked off the puck though by Fox, who retreats back behind his own goal with it. Stolen though by the Huskies. Jared Lowen, point shot, stopped and held on to by Sawchuk, as we're down to 8:41 remaining in the third. Shots on goal, 8-2 so far in favor of Fort St. John in this third period. They have the only 2 goals so far in this third period to make it an 8-1 hockey game. Now to the blue line and out as it squeezes just past Jeff Dick, who will go back in his own end to play it for Connor Kindred. Fairview stealing it down low inside of the zone. Back to the point for Harrison. Wrist shot, gloved and held on to by MacArthur for a faceoff with 8:19 remaining in the third period. Face-off again, coming up to the left of Fairview goaltender, make that Fort St. John goaltender, Tyler MacArthur. Played all the way down into Fairview territory. Icing will be the call as we're down to 8:12 now left in the third. Again, stay right here. We'll have the 4 o'clock game for you between the County of Grand Prairie JDA Kings and the Northeast Navigators. Sean Penner will have the play-by-play of that one starting at 4 o'clock for you. Flyers backtrack deep inside their own end. This is Harrison. Stopped inside the neutral zone. Yazbek will play that free. Bourgeois trying to knock it in. Yazbek following up a shot and the save made by Sawchuk. Now Yazbek looking behind the goal. We got another penalty call coming up here. Boarding is going to be the call this time against the Flyers. And it's going to be Dentinger, I believe, going back to the box once again. At 12:22. Off the faceoff, controlled by the Huskies on the power play. Kendrick for make that for Jared Lowen. His shot blocked and fired down the ice by the Flyers. MacArthur out of the goal. Leaves that for Jared Lowen behind the net. Now to Kendrick. He'll rim that around from the blue line, right to left, inside of Fairview territory. Nick Lowen stops it on that half wall, but the Flyers able to pick it off and fire it out to center and down the ice. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Minute 23 left in this power play for Fort St. John. The Huskies leading Fairview by a count of 8-1. Kindred out of his own end. Right wing pass. Nick Lowen. Out there with cousin Gary Lowen. His other cousin Jared Lowen, who's going back to play it. And Alex Nimmo, although now Nimmo will head to the bench for a line change. Lead pass now. Marzocco gains the line. Trying to play that for Bourgeois. It's broken up, and nothing really dangerous here so far yet for Fort St. John on this power play as the Flyers proceed to fire that one all the way down the ice. It's Jared and Lowen this time to center. Right wing pass for Dick inside the Fairview line towards the goal, and just missed on that cross ice pass, looking for Winkle, who would have been looking for his third goal of the afternoon. Huskies again. Marzocco at center. Right wing pass to Dick. Now Jeff Dick for Winkle this time. Blue line, Jared and Lowen, the Huskies captain. Shot blockered up over the glass and out of play by Alex Sawchuk. 5:45 remaining in the third. 7 seconds left in the Fort St. John power play. They lead this one by a count of 8-1. It'll be Fournette into the circle against Schlachter to the right of Sawchuk. Shot blocked in the high slot. Getting the loose puck over there for Fort St. John. That is Florient trying to work it to the front of the net. Stopped there. Tokars to the boards, not out. Jasbeck, long shot, kicked away by Sawchuk. Now the Flyers with it. Bjorklund to center, broke it up, fired right back in by Ivan Jasbeck. Hamelin plays that to Bjorklund at center. Spencer Bjorklund in over the line. 5:10 to go in the third. Long shot, fired wide. Puck back behind the Fort St. John net. Kept in over there by Marusiak, who will dump it back in deep. Flyers out of their own end with it. That was Taggart to center ice. Played off of Florient down in the Fairview territory. Now the Flyers trying to come out of their own end with it. Cairns got that in deep. Puck deep in Fort St. John territory. Jared and Lowen lifts that one high out to center ice. Stopped to the blue line by Deschamps. Pass up ahead. Just missing Schlachter, and that's going to be an icing call against Fairview with 4:20 remaining in the third. (8-1) the score. Fairview trailing Fort St. John. Battling for that puck at the side of the net was Nemec. Now Gary Lowen trying to dig it out along the boards. Nimmo, the other forward out there, along with Gary Lowen and Nils Nemec. As Nemec brings it back to center. Down the left side, he'll walk in, shot, Sawchuk the save. And he'll freeze it with under 4 minutes now left in the third period. And a face-off coming up again to the right of the Fairview goaltender. Off the face-off, Marusiak for the Flyers. Reverses field, now looks right wing side for Dentinger. Penalty call coming up here against Fort St. John as Kindred touches the puck. It's going to be a cross-checking call against Jeff Dick of the Huskies at 16-17. So Fairview on the power play for the first time in this third period. Last time they were on the power play, they gave up a shorthanded goal to Logan Kimmy. Ross backhands that low. Looking to work it back in front, picked off, and the Flyers proceed to fire that one all the way down the ice. Now here come the Flyers out of their own end to center. That is Blanchette. One of two Grand Prairie boys on this Fairview Flyers roster. Fired back down the ice by Fort St. John. 3 minutes left now in the third. As the Flyers that close to go into 10-3-2 on the season, becoming the first team this year to pick up 10 wins in the Northwest Junior Hockey League season. Puck will bounce off the end boards right to MacArthur, who's going to take no chances and freeze it for a faceoff. 2:47 remaining in the third. Face off to the right of MacArthur. At the blue line, long shot fired wide. Picked off and played all the way down the ice by Fort St. John. Sawchuk out of the goal. Leaves that back behind the net. Hamelin. Now rink wide for Schlachter. Zachary Schlachter gets it inside of Fort St. John territory. At the point, that misses and goes all the way back into Fort St. John territory, or to Fairview territory. After it in deep is Fournette. Just lets it go, decides to peel off to the bench with 2 minutes left to go in this one. And his Fort St. John Huskies enjoying a 7-goal lead. Back up to the high slot it comes. Schlachter, shot off a stick up over the glass and out of play. 1:52 now left in the third period. Again, still to come this afternoon, it's the County of Grand Prairie JDA Kings and the North Peace Navigators coming up at 4 o'clock. Chance for North Peace to retake sole possession of second place in the Northwest Junior Hockey League. Currently tied with Fairview at 19 points, as here comes Nimmo walking in, shot fired wide. Now Gary Lowen, as both teams back at full strength. 1:37 left to go in the third. Pass out in front, misses Nemec. And the Fairview Flyers to center. Spencer Bjorklund trying to knock it into Fairview territory. Broken up by Gary Lowen. Back in his own end for Kindred. Cross ice to Jared Lowen. Now Nimmo at center ice. For Nemec. Has a step on the defender. Niels Nemec lost control of the puck, then blows a tire down in the corner. Deschamps able to move it back up to center ice. Marzocco for Jared Lowen. Pass ahead is broken up and played in deep by Joachim. Into the final minute now of the third period. 8-1. Fort St. John leading the Fairview Flyers. Flip pass out to center ice. Going after it is Dick, won't get to it. Joachim beats him to it. Now backhands it up the near boards. Trying to move that out with Gerard. Couldn't do so for the Flyers. Played deep. Nemec looks out in front. Broke it up, and Fairview will play that to center. Gerard fires it deep into Fort St. John territory. Quickly played back the other way, 15 seconds to go. Jared and Lowen for Marzocco. Looking back for Jared and Lowen, that's broken up. Flyers just content to chip it out the center with 5 seconds left. Huskies are going to kill the clock here, as they will become the first team this season to hit the 10-win mark after an impressive 8-1 win this afternoon over the Fairview Flyers here in game number 4 of the Northwest Junior Hockey League Showcase event. Still to come this afternoon, as mentioned, 4 o'clock, it's the North Beast Navigators and the JDA County Kings. We'll have that broadcast for you with Sean Penner on the play-by-play. And 8 o'clock tonight, we wrap up Showcase with the Dawson Creek Junior Canucks taking on the Sundown Oilfield Services Sexsmith Vipers. Your final score this afternoon, the Fort St. John Flyers will pick up an 8-1 victory. Fort St. John Huskies, I should say, will pick up an 8-1 victory over the Fairview Flyers. I'm Jeff Henson. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast this afternoon.
Player of the game today for the Fairview Flyers, number 31,